What's up guys, Jab here, back with a brand new Warzone mobile video. We finally got that hotfix update that we were waiting for since the original Black Ops 6 integration update. As many of you guys know, the update was just filled with a bunch of technical problems, specifically on Android. As usual, unfortunately, there's just a lot of technical issues with it. People were reporting crashing, people were reporting low FPS, poor visuals, and there was a specific standout issue that was affecting a lot of people, which was known as the black screen bug. Basically, the entire lobby screen would just be all black and you couldn't actually start a match or anything like that, and it essentially made the game unplayable on a large amount of Android devices, even if your Android device was supported and was more than able to actually run the game. So all of this was happening obviously when the update dropped. As soon as it came out, people immediately noticed all of these issues, and we were waiting for an update for this game pretty much ever since. It did take like 5 days to actually get the update, but we finally did get that update, and they have addressed a lot of the various technical issues that were affecting the Android version, specifically that black screen bug. Apparently it's not really around anymore. I haven't seen too many people complain about it. I personally didn't ever have it at all, but it's good to know that, that issue was fixed. However, I don't think that we can really say just yet that Warzone Mobile has been fixed for Android. I went ahead and downloaded the latest update, made sure, nothing was running on my phone or anything like that, had a cooler attached to my phone, all, basically covering all grounds here. And I went ahead and played the game, and unfortunately there are still a ton of technical issues that kind of make the game unenjoyable. So just to start it off, I basically went ahead and played like 5 matches before I even started recording, because I did, I know that you have to build up the shaders and stuff like that. I did see a lot of people on Twitter basically saying that the game seems to run smoother after about 4 or 5 matches. So I went ahead and played 5 matches first before I even began recording, just so that I could get that out of the way. So after getting those 5 matches or so out of the way, I went ahead and started recording. The first thing I did was play Rebirth Island, which is the gameplay that you guys are watching here. This one was like the most smooth and the least problematic one. I played it on the absolute lowest settings possible with FPS set to high, so 60 FPS. And I didn't notice any major issues that kept me from actually playing and enjoying the game. Obviously the visuals are not the best at these settings. In some cases they kind of look like a PlayStation 2 game, but for the most part, it was playable. I didn't really experience too many issues. So some of the issues that I wanted to talk about in this video, I actually had to go ahead and re-record the face cam part of it, because some of the gameplay that I actually recorded just ended up being kind of unusable. I don't know why, but the video encoder settings got messed up for some reason. They came out super low quality, but some of the issues that I was going to talk about with that footage to go with it was basically that it seems like the audio right now is really messed up in Warzone Mobile. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's really, really bad. When it's really bad, usually it's very delayed. Even though I had direct connection with headphones plugged into my phone while recording, the audio was still delayed by multiple seconds sometimes, and then at the same time it just sounds super compressed and low quality for some reason. But again, this is it only happens sometimes. I had it happen in a multiplayer match, but then when I played Rebirth, it was completely fine. So it's a weird issue. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but it was something that I wanted to mention. But again, the multiplayer footage that I did capture to actually go ahead and use as an example, for some reason it came out with a really low bit rate, so I didn't want to end up using it. But that was something that I wanted to mention, the audio issues. Another thing that I wanted to mention, that again I had to go ahead and re-record and kind of redo because the videos got messed up, but basically I can't essentially play the game at anything but low settings now on my Galaxy S24. The S24 is not a super high-end Red Magic or anything like that, of course, but it's still an Android flagship. It's less than a year old. It has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is the latest processor you can get right now in the United States for Android devices, Android flagships, I should say. And I used to be able to play Warzone Mobile before the Black Ops 6 integration update. I used to be able to play it on high settings without any real issues. I would just attach my cooler and I could play for an hour with my controller connected to it, and it would be completely fine, and it was very playable. Ever since that Black Ops 6 integration update, that has not been the case. I have been having a ton of issues, and I'm not the only one. I've had people tell me that they've had it on their Samsung devices, specifically the S24 lineup. I've had people tell me that they have the same issues on OnePlus phones, on Xiaomi phones. So it's not just like a Samsung related issue. It's definitely not my device. My device is relatively new. And again, this was not, you know, some of these issues that I've been experiencing were not there with Warzone Mobile before the BO6 update, but now they are there. Like I mentioned, I basically can't use anything other than low settings. If I do, the game crashes. I've tried it with peak settings originally. That's when I noticed the first crash. And again, I was going to show that in the video. I was going to use some footage of the game actually crashing mid recording, but unfortunately that got kind of messed up. But then I went ahead and tried playing the game on medium settings, which I thought wouldn't be that big of a deal, right? It's just one step up from low. And then the game crashed again. It basically did the exact same thing. We're in the middle of a match. I guess it just, the system ran out of resources or something. I don't know. And then the game just fully crashed. And the thing that sucks about Warzone Mobile crashing too is that there is no rejoin feature. So if you've ever had the game crash on you, or if you've ever accidentally closed the game, there's no way for you to rejoin your match after the game forcefully closes down. So if you're playing with friends, for example, if you're like about to win a match on Rebirth Island or something, and your game crashes for whatever reason, you can't rejoin that match anymore. And so now your teammates got to play without you, or you just straight up lost that match that you might have won. It's really, really annoying. I don't know why there isn't a rejoin feature when most games have that, you know, built in, and for the last like number of years too, but it's something that was really annoying, and it's something that I kept experiencing because again, anytime I use anything other than low settings on this phone, the game crashes at some point. Usually around the 2-minute mark it crashes. So while I definitely like that they fixed some of the issues with the original BO6 update, you know, like the black screen issue, or devices that were supposed to be compatible being listed as uncompatible and stuff, I like that they fixed that stuff, of course. But the fact is that the game still feels very broken on Android, at least from my perspective and on my device. It just does not feel that enjoyable and that playable unless it's under very specific circumstances. I basically have to play on the lowest settings possible. I have to cap the frame rate to 60. I have to play with the cooler attached. And I basically have to hope and pray that the game doesn't crash in the middle of my match. Otherwise, I just wasted my time and I get no XP, I get no win or anything like that, you know. And if I'm playing with friends, now I got to explain to them that like, oh, hey, my match, you know, I can't rejoin the match now because my game just crashed and stuff. So it just feels like, honestly, it kind of feels like this BO6 update has been such a mess, and it just feels like we're still in alpha, even though we're 7 months into the global release of this game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How is the game running on your device now that we have that hotfix update? Is it running better? Is it running worse? Have you been experiencing some of the issues that I have mentioned in this video? Let me know. I'm very interested in hearing your guys' thoughts. But with all of that being said, guys, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.